Satan, as we know him, is our enemy, the enemy after our life and anything that would bring us joy. Satan is so used to darkness that the only thing you can ever see him doing are things that would take away your joy, your happiness, and your peace. Right from the day you made up your mind to follow Christ, that is the day Satan turned you into his project. And trust me, you can't do anything to stop him from trying, because that he must do. The Bible records him as a roaring lion looking for who to devour. The enemy is restless, and he would do anything to take you down with him. Now, you would think that this would not affect your relationship life, but my dear, sorry to disappoint you. Your relationship is one very important part of your life that can either make you or destroy you, and so because of this, you can expect the devil to try every possible way to come at you. He's gonna come with full force, and if you don't take a strong, firm stand in the word of God and in prayers, the devil might just win. But that's not your portion. The Lord is going to give you all you need in order to gain victory over the devil in this area of your life. When you know what a person plans to do to you, it becomes easy trying to get the solution because you'd be prepared when the time comes. The person would not take you by surprise, so for every plan that he has, you are 1,000 steps ahead of him. Satan thought he would win you this time around, but because of today that the Lord has made it for you to read this, he has revealed the plan of Satan to get you prepared on how best to tackle every issue that he will throw at you. You're lucky that you have met the person that God desires you to marry. I know you feel blessed to have them in your life, and that is a good thing. Now that you've met them, the battle begins on how you protect what the Lord has given with everything you've got. Follow me as I tell you things that Satan will always do if you meet the person God desires you to marry. One of the things that Satan will do is that he would send different people the way that will try to seduce you to fall into temptation and commit a sin so that you become an unfaithful person to your partner, thereby making you unworthy of them. This is one very common tactic that Satan uses anytime he sees two people that are meant for each other locate themselves and are trying to start their journey to forever. The painful part is that although we know this as his plan, most people still fall into this trap. You'll realize that the period when you were single and looking for someone to come into your life, there was no one coming. At times it felt like something was wrong with you. You prayed and God finally made it possible for you to meet the person he desires for you to marry. It is at this point that different people all of a sudden start noticing you. People you've never expected them to even look at your direction is those kind of people that would be coming your way. They would make sin look so appetizing to you that you would no longer be able to different from right and wrong. Your flesh, that is always weak, will give you reasons why you should just go along with it. Beloved, do not be deceived. The devil is only trying to make you become unfaithful, and once you fall into this, you give him the opportunity he needs to come in and destroy that relationship. There is absolutely no temptation that you cannot resist. God has given us the power to control our flesh. The flesh is under you, and you have what it takes to resist this temptation. The person that God desires for you to marry deserves every bit of your loyalty and faithfulness. Do not allow the devil to tell you something different. You know this now, and you can be better prepared to flee from every temptation that comes your way. Secondly, one of the things that the devil will always do if you meet the person God desires for you to marry is that he will bring doubt your way and try to confuse you that this person is not the will of God for you. What used to be very clear, and you heard God clearly told you this, is it, but now you seem confused. And you second guess yourself if it was really the voice of God that you heard. Now, God will only present your spouse before you, but will give you the right to choose to accept them or not. Satan knows very well, and that's why he will send the spirit of confusion to try and confuse you in your decision making. It is during this period that he would also give you every reason to believe that this person is not meant for you, and will show you areas about them that you might find hard to accept. He will also bring people into your life that would appear like the perfect version of your prayers for the kind of spouse that you want. If you're not careful here, you might lose the treasure in front of you for a fake version which you will live to regret. If you heard God clearly, you don't need to second guess yourself. The words of the Lord never change, so you can be rest assured that you're making the right choice by sticking to the person that you met. Don't allow the spirit of confusion to make you lose the right person. Now that you also know this, it becomes easy for you to fight against every spirit of confusion that Satan will send to your life. Stand on the word of the Lord and don't be shaken by the things you see. Thirdly, the devil will always try to make things harder for you just so you don't settle down with this person that God desires for you. You will notice that your life has been going on smoothly without stress, but the day you come to the realization that the person you met is who God desires for you to marry, that is the day that you start experiencing a change in your life. You'd be striving in order to excel at your place of work. Everything might just not be working for you the way it used to, and you might want to believe that it's because of this person that God has brought into your life. The devil will put that in your mind and give you every reason to believe this, but I want you to stand firm. If you're really sure that this is what the Lord desires for you, do not need to give up. You just have to keep on pushing and let the devil know that he came too late to try and stop what God has already given a permit to happen. You can be sure that you suffer now for a better future, that you both are going to enjoy. The challenges that the enemy is making you face right now will make you stronger for the beautiful marriage you both are going to have. When you have learned how to fight the devil and his scheme right from now, it becomes easy to defeat him in your marriage. When you face the challenges, when you meet the person that God desires you to marry, just smile and face the challenges head on. That's because you already know that the devil will try to do this. Lastly, one of the things that Satan will always do if you meet the person that God desires you to marry is that he will try to bring opposition from your friends and family. You know, the devil is someone that never gives up. He is going to try from every possible angle that you can think of just so he prevents this from happening. Your friends and family that loved your partner all of a sudden begin to give you reasons why you should not be with this person. Satan is not giving up, so why do you want to give up on something that you know is the right choice for you? Although this particular thing that the devil will do might not always be the case, if your friends and family are not in support of your partner, you need to be sure that you heard God when he made you realize that this is the person he desires for you to marry. Hear God for yourself. So if you're sure, then be ready to fight the devil also on this ground. Don't be quick to run away from the fight. We all desire to be with the right spouse, and so don't be quick to leave yours for a few reasons that you can handle. Now that you know the things that the devil will do, I pray that God gives you wisdom and strength on how to always overcome him. Stay blessed.